Well, it's been a while since I made a video, but I thought it would be fun because I just got a new phone. I got the iPhone 13, and what's new with this phone is that it has cinematic mode. So I wanted to see how good it actually was, and so I wanted to compare it to an actual sort of cinema camera, my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. So both these cameras shoot 4K. They both do 120 frames per second in HD, and I made a little comparison side-by-side video. Let's see if you can tell the difference.
Some say love is a winding road, carves a map through the darkest night. Some say love takes a heavy load, helps someone make the burden light, teaches you not to hold too tight. You and I have come a long way together. You and I got a long way to go. You don't have to ask me now or never, 'cause I'm already yours and you'll always be mine. Some say love is a fire that grows, bound to hurt when you let it go.
So being able to tell which one was the actual cinema camera and which one was the phone might not have been as easy as you might have thought. I know it wasn't for me. I was actually quite blown away by the phone, but there was still a few mishaps with the cinematic mode that I wish were a little better, but at the same time, it is coming out of a phone. What do I think overall? I thought the iPhone had great colors and great HDR. It kind of fakes dynamic range, which the Blackmagic technically has more dynamic range, which is seeing the shadows and highlights and being able to still use them when you're color grading. But I was impressed by the HDR on the iPhone, and I actually preferred some of the shots on the iPhone with the skies, because the skies look amazing with the iPhone, whereas the Blackmagic, they kind of look exactly how they look in person, which if that's what you're going for, it's great, but if you're going for a more artistic approach, then the iPhone actually performed better in that aspect. So under perfect conditions, the iPhone did great.
Okay, another thing that I wanted to mention now that I'm editing this the next day is that I cannot believe how good the stabilization was on the phone. The way that I had it set up so that I could shoot both cameras at the same time, I couldn't attach my Blackmagic to a gimbal or a stabilizer. That's why it might be a little more shaky and like jittery, which I don't like that much, unlike the phone, which just stabilizes it itself.
Some things that I wasn't so happy about was the over-sharpening. Everything just looks overly sharpened. Kind of makes it look grainy and just pixelated, and I wasn't really fond on that look as much, but under perfect conditions, the iPhone performed really well. Another thing is, without an app, which I wasn't using an app like Filmic Pro, the iPhone is completely auto. There's no pro features or actually controlling the ISO and the shutter speed and everything, so that aspect is completely auto, which kind of sucks, and that's why I think I would use the iPhone more for personal use, but overall I think the iPhone did a pretty good job. I did another test with more dark and more stylistic conditions with colors and bright lights and contrast. It's the same setup. Here's the iPhone versus Blackmagic again. So yeah, this one, I think it's a little easier to tell which one is which. The iPhone can sometimes seem washed out and blurry. That's probably due to the denoising effect that the software does to the processing of the videos afterwards. But overall, I was actually surprised with the colors and how accurate they were to how they were in person. Finally, my overall thoughts. Do I regret buying the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera? No, absolutely not. I still love this camera. Would I use it for vlogging or just doing daily life? No. That's not what it's meant for. So the iPhone is perfect for that. The cameras on this are completely fine to do vlogs and just capture the moments in life. But for more professional use, when I'm doing short films and building my portfolio, I'm definitely going to stick to the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. But for personal use, the iPhone is amazing. So yeah, I'm definitely going to use more of the cinematic mode in the future, and I'm pretty excited for the videos to come. But anyways, that was this video. I know I've been gone, and I plan on doing more projects on YouTube. Right now, I'm kind of focusing on school, so we'll see where that leads. But until then, I'll see you in the next one.